Oi, you, ain't you, ain't you gonna effing speak to me? That's what a female approached me and said to me in the night one time when I was driving. I arrived at a petrol garage quite close to where anywhere I know females, they sort of surround me, and that is Somalian women, right? So this was in the night, like a Somalian woman just came out of nowhere. Quite attractive young girl, like you man would like that, yeah, right? And she just like came by the window or something, but she was like dressed nice and everything. Do you know what I mean? Right? She wasn't like no funny girl or whatever, right? And she just, I think she got out of her car. I can't remember, man, but she just said, "Oi, you, ain't you gonna effing speak to me? Ain't you gonna effing speak to me then?" And I was like, right, what's up with this girl here, man? What's up with this girl? I was like, raw, you're a bit too aggressive, man. That's what your issue. I don't know what it is, man. You're too aggressive. Yeah. So let me tell you how that links into what I'm gonna say, right? Um, oftentimes, yeah, I get these women following me, like Somalian women. They've stopped it in the last couple years or whatever, just like recently. But every once in a while, they'll just chase me into my home, right? And it will get a bit too much, right? Or they'll just be waiting on every corner and just driving, zinging past, doing all type of craziness, right? And I think like they were sort of antagonizing me a little bit, yeah. And I went in my home, right? I come out the next morning, they're there waiting. As soon as I open my door, there's one in waiting in the car. Like as soon as I open like the intercom door, they're waiting, yeah, right, driving past. Yeah, and then I get to like the road, the side road, and then they're waiting there. I get to the main road that I live on, they're waiting again. And then by the time I've walked to the station, I'm feeling kind of like, not really, yeah, low level sort of, not anxiety, just like pissed off a little bit, yeah, right? And then like I've walked into the station, gone through the barriers, I'm waiting for the train, right? And then this Somalian woman, or I'd say she's a girl, she's between 20 and 30, right? Just comes to walk towards me, but in a way where like I felt like anyone comes that close to you, walking towards you, what's in your mind? And live rails are there. No matter if live rails are there, what is in your mind? Yeah. Now the difference between you and I is that I've just been chased into my home and chased when I'm coming out my home, maybe previous to the last couple of days by these women. Yeah, right. And then she's come by, she's on her phone, but she's walked in a way where like she's put it into my mind. You know what she's put into my mind, right? And the way she's walked to me and she's on the phone sort of choreographing something with someone, right? And it was all, I believe it was all a sequence of events to put me under a psychological bit of strain where I'm feeling like I'm chased by them, and I would push her. I knew I could. Sometimes I don't know whether you guys think I could read minds, but I just know she wanted me to push her. And the thing is, I thought about it more deeply, and it was like she was quite like hefty, as in like, maybe taller than me, quite hefty, so that if you did push her, you wouldn't be able to push her as far as someone that was a lot slimmer. Although a man, when he's got his strength about him, is much stronger than you think, ladies, man. He's much stronger than a woman, yeah, right? In a funny sort of way, right? And I could see when she walked down and when she walked past me and sat down, and then the right smile on her face, she was speaking to someone on the phone. Like I could see like that was all like a stage sort of setup to make me push somebody towards the rails in public. Yeah. And let's just say, right, I did push her, right? I get on the train. Let's do a parallel universe here, right? I get on the train, I go about my day, I come back, yeah, right? I go home, next morning, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, there's a knock on my door from the authorities. Could be a mental health SWAT team, Could be like police, whoever. Um, by the way, guys, man, just to let you know, I made a I have to keep quiet on it because I've made a complaint, so I'm hoping it's being looked into. But for example, somebody gave me a death threat when I was at Goldsmiths University. It was clear as day. At this moment, they went and wrote down that I said what the person said to me. They they, they they went and they wrote down. It must be a miswriting or a misunderstanding, I'm hoping, right? But they went and wrote down, yeah, that I said what the person said to them, but to me, whatever, right? So what the person said to me, they're saying I said it, right? When I know you guys always know what I say and whatever, you know that they know and whatever, and the person said, another person that was there said, kind of confirmed they know what was said, right? But that's all written down and recorded with the authorities on myself here, right? And can you imagine, like, off of the back of me just pushing her, I could have a mental health SWAT team or the police just come in and just take all type of liberties with me, right? So Lewisham can all hear this, right? So that was the straw that broke the camel's back to me. Like that there, like I was just like, rah, these women will like link up, put me under stress, then try to like cause some type of like commotion with me and hopefully get me incarcerated or put in a mental health unit where they can circle me within there and further put me through more torture, psychologically. Yeah, whilst locked up and potentially drugged and drugged and drugged and drugged. Yeah, right. And then that's when I thought, rah, like, as black women, you're running around doing that. Yeah, I've had enough of you now. Do you know what I mean? That there was like, do you know what I mean? And you can deny it, but I sequenced all the events going back the couple of days before, and the way you tried to create the tension around me, and then you went for the move of like trying to get me to think about pushing you, and it would have been in public, and everyone would have seen it. I'd have been banged to rights, and do you know what I mean? And where would I go from there? Looking like that. So that's why I've always said, man. Like when I watch these like people doing madnesses on camera, I always say, man, if like in my sort of judge mode or summing up mode, right, or sentencing mode, right, I always say, I always would want to know the sequence of events, what has happened 24 to 48 hours a week, whatever it is, before someone's done the actual act, because you don't know what they've gone through psychologically, the hurdles. But yeah, I was very upset by that, and I could see that it was a gang sort of setting up thing, to make me sort of do something in public to make me look like a violent person, which I'm not. Which I'm not. I'm not that way inclined. But everyone can be pushed, and it also made me look in a bit more deeply to think like the average West Indian, Caribbean black man in general, if they get that kind of antagonization, what would they have done feeling how I felt? Especially like isolated sometimes, not speaking to people. A lot of people in that situation would have pushed her. But me, passive me, I was able to resist, but other people aren't, But yeah, neurolinguistically, whatever it is, you put it into my mind. And I didn't like the fact that you put it into my mind to push you into the tracks. Because once it runs through someone's mind, yeah, you're 90% of the way to committing the act. Do you know what I mean? Right, you're 90% of the way. Like, do you know what I mean? So I thought, like, I was very upset with that. I was really, really crestfallen to think a gang of black women would go and do that. Yeah. Just because, like, whatever, So I really, really, really put her downers on things. And the thing is, like, I go and say some nice things online about like being treated right as females. Like, you know what I mean? No one's like killing you for honor. No one, or from my perspective, like myself or my spirit, is killing you for honor, is trying to circumcise you or doing all type of madness to you or whatever. doing all type of bad things to you or whatever, right? I would never be like that. And you go ahead and do all these sorts of things. It's wicked. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not happy with that at all. And yeah, I'm not happy with it. And just finishing off on this, right? When I come out of that Lewisham place, which was illegal at the end of the day, right, to me, and I'm still like putting things through. I still want to complain, right? Um, I remember days after I come out, I saw someone from the Lewisham mental health unit or whatever that was there, the staff riding his bike. I see you riding, yeah, alongside, right past me, right, and I was like, I hope these people ain't chasing me around, right? And then 30 seconds later, a Muslim man with his wife, because his wife was Muslim, so he must be Muslim, right? Tried to like literally like break my social distance and tried to walk into me. Yeah, right. Just bumped, just like really aggressively. But I ended up like seeing them and being 4 or 5 meters away because I was jogging or whatever I think I was at the time, right? And you know what? For the next day, I thought, rah, like, what? They trying to set me up, like the Lewisham men are ganging up on me. Because it was like a stage scene to me, right? But then I thought to myself, do you know what? Hang on, Mark. Mark, do you know what? Yeah, right. Maybe like that guy from the Lewisham Mental Health, maybe he was saying, be careful, this is what these people are going to do. And he was like giving me a cue to be like, yeah, be ready for these people to try any maneuver. So I took it in a positive way, and I thought, right, I'd see more of them from that place there, but I didn't. But it was kind of like he let me know. That's how I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it the way of like you were trying to set me up. I'm gonna take it like you were like there to let me know this is what's gonna happen. Do you know?